But I think the development of full artificial intelligence will spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
Doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Sorry about that. Yo ho, yo ho. Welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and this is the show where we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. You know what those things are. Well, we do it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. And what are those things we're not allowed to talk about? Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. This show is live. We are streaming on Facebook, DLive, YouTube, and Periscope. We are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM, and we're taking your phone calls. As we do this, as we have these conversations, this is what transparency actually is. Many of the actual media or talk shows or influencers or content creators or whatever the hell they're calling themselves now, there's a certain lack of transparency that sort of goes with that, and I think it's unfortunate. I think that if you're going to be up here on a microphone and having people listen to you or people see you and the rest of this, I think there should be at least be some transparency regarding the process, regarding some of the things we discuss, some of the things we talk about, and of course having an open line as part of this. We've always done it this way because it's just more honest. It's just, hey, look, if you disagree, you can literally pick up the phone and call. And we don't do stupid culture war garbage. We don't do like bottom of the barrel discussions because, well, let me tell you, that's division politics is what that is. That's exactly what that stuff is. And we don't do it. We've never done that. And there's a very particular reason. Well, just because we're not trying to divide people here. We're trying to put out a product in the end that says, hey, look, there's a lot of really controversial topics out there, and it doesn't really matter what you believe personally. It does to you, but it shouldn't so much to me. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't so much to everybody else. It shouldn't be everybody trying to stomp their agenda down everybody else's neck and describe just the way this is. Describe, again, the world we live in. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. If you guys are on social media, you know what I'm talking about. If you and not only that, now here's the craziest part, right? Here's the nuttiest part about all of this. All the things that we've done since we've been on this show, we've talked about all kinds of crazy things, right? All over the place. And I say crazy, I mean kind of expanding your mind type crazy, right? Not like a division politic crazy. We haven't touched any of that hardly. And part of the problem with all of this is they still are limiting our reach. And so as a result, well, guess what? Like I said in the beginning, we're streaming on Facebook, DLive, YouTube, and Periscope, right? And also broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And that's true. I'll give you the phone number and stuff in a sec here. Let me get into my diatribe a little bit because I'm pissed off. You better believe I'm pissed off. We spent years building audiences on different social media pages, and guess what they're doing? Guess. Yeah, that's right. 42,000 likes on Facebook, and guess what we get? We get, let's see, let me tell you. I'll tell you exactly. I'll tell you what we get. We get them playing games with chat not showing up. Sherry was just on Facebook here chatting, and I couldn't see her. The only reason I knew she was there is somebody in the chat responded to her, right? It's garbage. It's garbage. Look, not only that, Ronald said this as soon as he jumped onto Facebook. YouTube was the only notification I got. All right. Out of all the social media platforms we're on, that's all you get. You get one. And it will only be a matter of time before YouTube cuts it out as well. I'm telling you, this is not the way of things. And we're not even in division politics. I mean, again, right? Like I said, we live in the upside down. And part of that is exactly for these reasons. We're trying to bring people together. And you see, it is not allowed. It is absolutely not allowed. And, well, I just, what can you do, right? At some point, they put your back so far against the wall, trying to steal from you, right? Meaning steal from this show, steal from this community by trying to break us apart, by trying to get people and say, hey, by the way, nobody's going to get notifications. And for all they know, if they don't come actively searching for you, for all they know, you're off the air now. Right? And this is where we're at. This is what's going on. And I know it. I see it. I'm looking at it in real time. 40,000 plus likes on Facebook. We have like 7 people watching. 13 people now. Like, are you kidding me? What's going on? We know what's going on. It's part of the dirty game they play. It's part of the, oh, okay, good job building an audience. Now you can't reach them. Right? Thanks for wasting 3+ years of time. Yeah, thanks, Facebook. I appreciate that a lot. Now, this is exactly what I'm saying here. Now, the reason I'm all pissed off about this, 1, rightly so, and 2, we've got a remedy for this. Like I said, I'm going to sound like a Rockfin commercial for like 6 months because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting content strikes for stupid things, right? For people filing fraudulent copyright strikes on YouTube. I mean, this is censorship, guys. This is censorship, plain and simple. And it pisses me off a lot because we're not even in that game of trying to tell you who to vote for. I don't even care. I don't care if you don't vote. You see what I just did there? But the problem is that since I'm not attacking one of these party lines, the division politic line that has all the money behind both sides, right? I'm somewhere in between. It's not allowed. It is absolutely not allowed. And so, yeah, we're moving to Rockfin. ROKFIN. If you're watching on any of these platforms, please, tonight, if you hear this on the podcast feed, on Fringe, anywhere else, and you like the video version of this show, by the way, I'm on video. I show my sources. We look at it on the screen. We talk about this stuff. All right? You can see it. Everything, like I said, is as transparent as it can possibly be with the phone line. And we'll get to that in just a sec. But what I'm telling you is if they're going to continue trimming every single thing we do off of every platform, all the hard work over the years, we'll just leave those platforms. Simple as that. You don't want our business. We don't want your business. Go ahead. Go ahead with your stupid culture war, bottom of the barrel garbage talk. Go ahead. All the people out there on YouTube making a killing, stirring up drama and calling people names and things like this, go for it. I'm not interested in that. I don't care about that. I think it's lowbrow. I think it's beyond stupid. And there you go. So yeah, if you detect a little bit of riled upness in me tonight, I am. That's a lot of hard work. And if you literally just steal an audience like that by not alerting them, by not allowing them to be part of the conversation when the notifications should go up, right? If you like the page and you go live on the page, they should be notified. But what happens is every time they do an update, Facebook in particular, they turn off notifications. Okay, so you have to go back and turn them back on yourself. It's basically the dirty form of the shadow ban. All right. Anyway, so you guys on radio, I apologize for a little diatribe. It doesn't affect you at all. If you listen on the Fringe FM, this doesn't affect you. But the censorship in the end affects everybody. Because like I said, first it will be me. All right. It was Alex Jones. Again, I don't even agree with Alex Jones on many, many, many things. All right. And some of the dumb things he said, he kind of deserved for people to come after him because he said a lot of dumb things. All right. However, if they come and silence him, who's next? People like me. Then guess what? If you cheer that, you know who's next after that? Yep, that's right. People like you. You want to one day have a radio show, a talk show, you want to have a YouTube channel someday? Well, guess what? You're not going to be allowed to. Well, you can go through the motions and you can put up information, but you know what'll happen? They will not spread out the information you're trying to put out there. They're gonna stifle it. They're gonna stifle the things you say and the words you say and the thoughts you think. They're gonna stifle those things. They're going to hide them. And like I said, it's fine. You're allowed to be on a microphone. You're allowed to say all the things you want to say. All right? Except you're just not allowed to do it and also have an audience. You see? You see the game here? Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, rightly so, I'm pissed off about this. So again, ROKFIN. If you guys are out there on any of the video platforms or you enjoy seeing the videos and all the rest of the stuff we do, that's where we're moving to. We're going to move everything over there because guess what? They're a free speech platform. Guess what? It's monetized and you don't need to spend a year and a half grinding your ass off to actually monetize your channel, etc. Things like that, right? Like, why can't it be built in initially? YouTube, right? Problems. Many problems, many issues, and it's broken, and it pisses me off. So we're moving. You don't want our business? We'll take it somewhere else. There you go. Here's my little rant because I am mad. I am a little bit irritated that Facebook has all these followers on that love the content we put out. However, Facebook doesn't notify them when we go live. If you don't know specifically exactly what time it is and the rest of this stuff, well, yeah. Anyway, so there was my rant. All right. Now I'm gonna add that rant in a little bit as we go for the weeks to come because I want everybody to move over there. Literally, all these platforms that are lying and cheating and stealing. Why are we going to stay there? Why? So that they can just allow the audience to build so they can take it away from you? No, absolutely not. So anyway, rockfin.com/troubled minds. Please go check it out. You can create a free account. And there you go. Matt, what's up? Matt in the chat says everyone needs to watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix. And that's exactly what's happening here. All right, so after that huge diatribe, here's what I'm getting at. Transparency is an important thing. If you disagree, I think we can disagree and still be friends. Right? How revolutionary is that thought? In today's day and age, it kind of is. But anyway, if you want to be part of the show, give us a call, 702-957-1037. You can join the Discord at troubledminds.org, the official website, and just click the Discord link. It's a chat client. It's a voice client. And you can also join the Discord at fringe.fm/chat. It's the same chat room, and it's a little bit just a slightly different audience. Good people all the way around. So go join the Discords if you have not, and good people sharing information and getting along with each other, and that's the important thing. All right. Okay, so let's go. We've got, it looks like Paul in New Hampshire. Let's just go straight to this call. So tonight we're talking about crop circles. All right. So we're going to get to crop circles in just a bit, but we got Paul waiting on the line. So let's go to Paul. What's up, Paul? You're on Trouble Minds with Mike. How are you, my friend?
Hi, Mike. I'm good. It's funny. I saw you pop up that you were on talking about crop circles, and I thought this will be a good one. And then I've been listening to you for the last 20 minutes, and I think it's even a better one. So I'm going to let you go with this. And, where do you want me to go on it, my friend? Because I can go either way. And I think we might want to stick with the first thing and then go to the second thing. But it's your show.
Hey, I appreciate it, Paul. I appreciate it. Let's just jump right into crop circles. Let's just do that. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that do you think they're fake? I mean, clearly there's a lot that are fake, but then do you think that there's another maybe slice of crop circles that may or may not be? Let's start there.
Well, I'm going to go with I don't only think I know, and I was fortunate enough to be friends with Nancy Talbot, who was the premier crop circle researcher in the United States. Colin Andrews was the guy in England, and there's a lot of things about Colin Andrews that come into question especially his cataloging of the crop circles that happen in England. And there's a lot of things that happen in England that you can go with. That, yeah, let's put it this way. Most of them are fake, but there are these ones that are real. Nancy Talbot kind of proved that. And I can say for sure, I'm not saying this just from looking at her research, knowing her as a friend, talking to her many nights. I was fortunate enough to see a real crop circle in Pittston, Maine. And let's just say it was very enlightening.
So you've seen one with your own eyes?
I have seen one with my own eyes. Yes, I actually collected samples. I actually wrote I have a published article about it. That wasn't the only one that saw it. This happened around the time that the movie Signs had come out, and somebody had claimed that this was one of the ones that was part of the what's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to promotion of the movie. We're promoting the movie Signs, and then some crop circles had popped up, particularly one, by the way, which I'm sure you might come up tonight, and that's the alien face with the binary code circle. I've studied this subject for many years, but this was different, and I actually talked to witnesses that the house that it was owned at, there's a whole story that went along with it. I like I said, I wrote an article. It was on rents.com. I think if you do a search on Google for Pittston, Maine crop circle, it should take you right to it. The last time I checked, it was still up, but it's been a while. And as you said earlier, people like me get censored. And but it was real, and it was very simple. It was 3 elliptical circles. It wasn't, a giant binary code message with an alien face in a field that happened in the middle of nowhere. That was the other thing that kind of caught my attention. But the coolest thing about it is that when I saw it, it was in a field of hay. When you're in England, there might be rapeseed oil, it might be corn, it might be wheat. This was in a field of hay in New Hampshire. A lot of people grow hay to feed the sheep and the horses and all that on their farms. And there's a lot of hay field here. And then you have flooding, and then you have deer beds, and then you have, things where people think they're crop circles. And this was, it was all over the news, by the way. It was on the news. And then it actually had gotten taken off the news. There was supposed to be another story done about it, but mysteriously the story went away. They had taken aerial photos, and I went there and I took samples, like I said. The coolest thing, though, was that this was laid down in hay. There were bent nodes in the hay, and there was this plant that's called milkweed that had grown with the hay, and the milkweed flowers, they come up, they're a lot shorter than the hay, and if you touch them, it's called milkweed for a reason. They will become damaged. And this is kind of like I said, the rapeseed oils in England, where you see these crop circles that pop up. Very simple, by the way. 3 circles, elliptical. They were not perfect circles. They were one large, one smaller, and then, the smallest one, 3 different sizes, all connected. Just amazing. Just the sight alone was amazing, but the most amazing thing was seeing these plants that had grown along with the hay, and nothing else had been affected by whatever phenomenon this is. It was definitely weird, and it was real. And, when you see it, aside of just studying it, along with the studying it, this is confirmation. And it was, to me, pretty good. Well, like I said, that article got published. It's on rents.com. You can probably look it up, Pittston, Maine crop circles.
Okay, sweet. So then you've seen it, and you agree. So we agree that, sure, fine, most of them are probably fake, but I think that goes with this greater conversation anyway. Like most UFO sightings that you see on YouTube and stuff are fake. Like they're literally fake UFO sightings, and it's the same thing. It's the same conversation in my mind, because sure, fine, but just because most of them are fake doesn't mean all of them are fake, and that's where the conversation kind of comes in. So if you've seen it and you think there are ones that are real, what do you think are making them? Now there's different theories we're going to get into tonight. We're not going to get into specific crop circles like the Carl Sagan one and all that stuff, because you know what's funny about it? Most of those crop circle photographs are all copyrighted. You can't even use those without maybe being sued for copyright, and that kind of gives you your first clue. But anyway, so what do you think is going on with these? Do you think there's something to it with maybe UFOs are related, or some people is described as possibly orbs kind of coming up from the earth and being things like this and creating them as like a message? I don't know. What do you think? What's your theory on this?
Well, it's funny, and before I get to that, I'd like to say, yes, for sure. You just said it in yourself, why a lot of these are copyrighted. It's been well known if you study the field. There are people out there that make money off them, and especially in England. And, there's a whole tourist community made out of this in Wiltshire and places like that near Stonehenge. But, there are still some real ones there. And what I've learned from my study of this is through, number one, the one I saw personally, and interviews with people that I know that were witness to these, and the main one being Nancy Talbot, was that the stories were all the same. Nancy Talbot's first encounter with you can look her up, by the way, she was BLT Research. She was the foremost crop circle researcher in America until she passed. She's been on every channel, every show. Not recently, because of course she's passed, but she was like the Stanton Friedman of that. And we had talked many a night, and I finally broke into her and said what happened. And she actually wrote in the paper about this, about staying in England, studying crop circles, and seeing a beam of light come down into a field, and then running out there, and there was a crop circle. And the people in Maine basically told the same story. They said it was a beam of light. It happened with the people across the street, not the people that own the property. People that own the property knew something had happened. They all had animals on both sides of the street. There's a whole other story there. It'd take me an hour to get into it, but the point is that the woman across the street, her animals were going crazy. She looked outside and said, I thought I saw a spotlight beaming up into the sky. And, and then I went over and asked, what are you doing? And, they were like, nothing. And then the next day they found the crop circle. The next morning, it was quite early. And so where do I think it comes from? I think with that being said, knowing that, they're seeing beams of light, it's either one of two things. I'm pretty sure this is probably just like the movie sign said, that these are aliens trying to either send messages. I think more than anything, marking the planet, or this is a satellite. With what's happening lately and watching the news, a fear tactic used by something the government figured out how to do this themselves, with microwave energy coming from satellite defense systems that they figured out how to, manipulate molecules in plants. What's next? Humans? I don't know, but it's one or the other, and I'm pretty positive of that. The problem is I can't prove either one. So I'm going to go with aliens, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't aliens and it was our government maybe using technology that they found from aliens. I think it does. The technology they're using to do this one way or the other is not of this earth. I mean, it's just something that's above and beyond anything we know about right now. So, where do you go? I'm going to go with aliens.
All right, perfect.
Look at the Nazca lines.
Always great stuff, my friend. I hate to cut you off. We're at the bottom of the hour. We got to go to a break. This is Paul, the New Hampshire UFO hunter. Follow him on YouTube, guys. Appreciate the call, Paul. You're the best. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay. All right, thanks, man.
Thanks a lot, brother. There you go. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange, and we're talking about crop circles tonight. Don't go anywhere. More after the break. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Facebook, DLive, YouTube, and Periscope. And we're broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. Tonight, we're talking about crop circles. Many people know they're fake, but do you think the conversation goes a little deeper than that? As Paul said, our first call there, do you believe there are other things afoot here? Different anomalous situations with particular crop circles? Or do you think, as we discussed and stated when we first began tonight, that maybe all this stuff is simply a hoax? That's really where the conversation lies, and that's really why as being an honest and transparent as a conversation is it a thing? Is there an actual a way to determine if a crop circle is real or fake? And very much like Paul was just describing there, I didn't know Nancy, unfortunately, before she passed away, but we have we have the BLT research team. And it looks like they're still going here, but Nancy Talbot. There's a phone number here and a P.O. Box, Cambridge, Massachusetts, and good actual science regarding crop circles, which we'll get to in just a sec. But so point being, what got me onto this tonight, and Paul had a better way to kick this off than I ever could have planned, because he actually worked with Nancy Talbot from the BLT Research, which of course is a scientific foundation that spent a ton of time actually researching crop circles as a actual phenomenon. And not only that, is it like I said, the conversation kind of lies between the hoaxes and then the ones that may be real. And is there a difference? And that's pretty hot stuff. So thanks again, Paul, for chiming in with that. Like you said, if you were lucky enough to work with Nancy, that's amazing. And I do have her website up. We'll talk about that tonight as we go, some of the science behind crop circles and all the rest of that. But okay, here we go. We got this. So this is what got me thinking about this tonight. All right, as we did this stuff, I was like, okay, well, we had an article today on the news show, and if you don't know, we do a news show on Mondays and Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific. It's called Troubled Minds News, as you would expect, and we talk about all kinds of different things. And this article came up right here. This is from the BBC, and it's talking about exactly this. It's called England's Crop Circle Controversy. And there's some interesting things about this, specifically that there's a particular part of actual an area in England where this seems to be the most prevalent in the world. So is it a ley line thing? Is it like those orbs that we talked about? Is it something else, or is it just like the weather's nice in England, so for the time being they're going to run out and fake a bunch of crop circles, right? That's kind of the question here. And so who else did I miss in the chat? I see you guys there. Sorry about that. The chat is not working. It's just not working properly anymore. This is frustrating. This is frustrating. The social media that's supposed to be social is limiting social interaction because, they have dirty behind-the-scenes rules. Okay, anyway, so England's crop circle controversy, right? Now, this is written by Daniel Stables, 23rd of August, 2021, which is brand new. And so it starts like this. Although these mysterious formations have appeared worldwide, southwest England is the unlikely world capital of crop circles, baffling locals and farmers alike. And that's what got me thinking about this tonight. Not just in terms of crop circles as maybe fake, right? Of course, hoaxes, that definitely exist. I think we can all probably agree that that's the case, that we have people with, the boards and the ropes, and they're out there in the middle of the night drinking a six-pack and hoaxing some stuff. And, for starters, if you think that seems outrageous, well, they actually do these things because there's like there's like a secret society of crop circle initiates or whatever going on. And then the artists, quote artists that take the photographs, when they step out there and become the first person to take the photograph of the crop circle itself, they put it up and copyright it, and they make money on this. And some of the farmers, right, they sell things, and that's all in the article here, right? If you guys, if you want to read this, it's a pretty long article, so I'm not going to go through all this, just like I said earlier. But here we go, just a little bit from it. The crop circle phenomenon peaked in the 1990s and early 2000s, but it does continue today. An average of 30 crop circles appear each year in the UK, around 80% of them in Wiltshire. And let's see, formations reported in 2021 have included a hexagonal pattern overlaid with spirals in Avebury and a pattern of concentric bubbles in Tidworth Down. Of course, I'm probably pronouncing these incorrectly because, well, I'm not English. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but we do have English friends out there. So if you'd like to correct my pronunciation, feel free. The crop circle season, this continues. Usually begins at the end of May with the first ripening of the barley and ends by September when the harvesting of the crops cuts away the circle canvases. So, right, there's like just a very short period of time where you can kind of go through and do some of these things. And so, as I call it, as it's being mentioned in this particular article, is right now is crop circle season. And so they're starting to pop up, right? And the question is, what are they? What exactly are these things? But here we go. So this continues. Let's see. Okay. As the number of crop circles has grown, so has the mythology surrounding them. Some invoke the theory of ley lines, mystical seams of spiritual energy that intersect at sacred sites like Avebury and Stonehenge. Others claim that the circles are created by an extraterrestrial intelligence attempting to warn humanity about climate change, nuclear war, and similar existential threats. One even appeared in May 2020 in the shape of a coronavirus, leading to feverish speculation that crop circles are trying to give us clues about immunology and COVID-19. All right, so here we go. Among those who discount the alien hypothesis, a common theory is that human circle makers tap into some kind of collective consciousness, perhaps explaining the prevalence in crop circles of universal mathematical patterns that also occur in nature, the fractal branching of snowflakes and blood vessels, and the spiraling shells of mollusks, for example. Okay, so point being, this is the article that got me interested in this, that got me considering and wondering what the heck was going on with the crop circles. And it is, as we said, it is crop circle season. So what is actually happening with this? And, as is described in this article here, there are different theories. And, as Paul was saying, that he thinks it's whatever the technology is that's making the real crop circles is not of this earth. There's something going on with the technology, whether it was some sort of reverse engineering or UFOs or what's happening with this for the real ones, of course, and that's where the conversation becomes dicey. So, like I said, now the thing is that there he goes. Wiltshire is pronounced Wiltshire. There it is. Now I know. See, I got my friends in the UK looking out for me. Wiltshire. Now I know. But okay, so point being is this. So what do you think these are? That's the question for tonight. Do you think, of course, we're basically taking all the crop circle hoaxes and throwing them out, all right? We're saying, okay, fine. Some are hoaxes. We got it, all right? Just like there are fake UFO videos on YouTube, we got it. There's fake ones out there. But what happens if there are real ones? That's where the conversation lies tonight. So what do you think this is? Do you think it is some sort of a ley line crossing situation with Stonehenge and Wiltshire and places like this? Or do you think it has something to do with more of an extraterrestrial presence, as it were? Or even better, or continued as part of the thought and the possibilities here, do you think that the maybe it's something coming from inside the earth? Now there have been speculations about maybe these orbs kind of coming from down beneath and down beneath the earth and the rest of this. And there's a thing called a plasma vortex theory. So there's some other things here that are actually describing possibilities of these actual crop circles as not just a hoax, different other things that they may or may not be. And so that's the question tonight. That's the question I'm going to pose to you. And as we keep on trucking, fantastic call by Paul to start us out. But what do you guys think? Like I say, we're not going to look at any specific crop circles. It's really easy with the internet these days. Just search it. Just check it out. Just type crop circle in a search engine, hit the images tab, and you'll see all the crop circles you want. If we put them up on here, you get copyright problems and things, and so I'm not going to do that. But But the thing is this, right? So that's the question tonight. Throwing out all the hoaxes, do you think there are a tiny, thin slice of real crop circles? And if so, what exactly are they? Where are they coming from? So Paul said that he thinks it's something not of this earth. He thinks it's possible extraterrestrial in origin, and something's happening here. So that's what I'd like to talk about. That's what I'd like to consider. And yeah, who knows? Who knows? Pretty weird stuff. So if you want to be part of the show tonight, you guys know what to do. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And you can reach us also on Discord if you want to be part of the show that way. Just go to the website, troubledminds.org, click the Discord link, and it'll give you a direct invite to the Troubled Minds server. And you can be on the show that way as well. It's a voice client. Discord's a voice client, a chat client, and yeah. Anyway, all right. So there we go. Let's see how we looking on Facebook over there. Yeah, thin. No chat coming through on Facebook. Interesting. They've kind of trimmed it out, or maybe nobody's chatting. That could be it too. Okay, so all right, what do we got? Looking at some of the comments here in the chat. So we are reading all the chats and all the places we're streaming and trying to keep up with that information. And also, by the way, like I said, taking your phone calls. So what do you think these are? That's the question of the evening. Do you think that this, if you bring up crop circles, it's just as maybe you open yourself up to ridicule, very much like if you say I saw a UFO or something like this, that maybe you end up having some sort of right, like people roll their eyes and like, oh, this person's nuts, they're talking about crop circles, right? It's like one of those sorts of things. It's definitely, it has a stigma to this topic. But yeah, anyway, so as of all that, that's what's going on. And that's what got me started on this, was this particular article. Now, let's get into this real quick. This is exactly what Paul was talking about when he called in. Now, there's an actual scientific research group called BLT Research, all right? And I'm linking this in the chats, and let's see. There it is, bltresearch.com. And so what this is actually is basically an actual scientific outfit that does research on crop circles. And so they go through, and there's actual scientific papers done. There's information where they say there's burn marks in particular crop circles that they've determined to be real, that there's maybe different soil anomalies when these things actually happen. I mean, we've all heard of that when you do the board and the rope, you're breaking the crop itself. And so the real crop circles supposedly don't have any of that. They're kind of gently pressed down and not broken. So I don't know. Like I said, we do have some folks that are part of the Troubled Minds community that know quite a bit about this because they live in England and maybe have some connections on the crop circle inside game. But that would be, of course, for the humans that make them. But what about the ones that are not? That's the question. So look at this. Just kind of going through some of this. Over on the left side of the BLT research team, they have USA crop circle list, and again, this is from a ways back. This is an older site, and as you can see here, it has the contact is Nancy Talbot. That's exactly who Paul was talking about, who has unfortunately passed away. But this outfit was located in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The phone number's up there, and some of the things they have here on the left side are plant abnormalities, right? So if in a real crop circle, it would turn out that things happen to the plants themselves. They have magnetic material in the soils, again, right here on the left side. Clay mineral XRD study is what it says. The Vanderbroek case. Other facts, published papers, all kinds of stuff, eyewitness reports, field reports, lab reports, and this is how you do science, right? We talked about this way back when we did the Crop Circle show with Frank, way back in the day when we very first started this show, and like this is how science is done. You don't look at some pictures and say definitely no. Like you go out there to these crop circles and you take soil samples. You do radiation readings. You check for burn marks, right? These types of things. And you try and see if there's anything different from a hoaxed crop circle to a crop circle that may or may not be real. And that's the question, right? That's how science is done. People go out, they take samples of these things. They have, they have samples of soil from the area that they compare soil samples from the crop circle itself to, so they have that, a comparison. And that's the way these things work. And I don't know, like to me, it's interesting to hear some of the theories regarding the crop circles and things, but I don't know. Me personally, I don't have a theory. only because it seems like some of this stuff can be anomalous based on some of the science. However, I don't know. There's a lot of hoaxing, right? There's a whole lot of hoaxing going on, especially in the era of social media. Like I said, it's easier to find fake UFO videos than anything compelling anymore because people are just trying to hoax each other out, right? And so that's what's going on tonight. That's what's on my mind, and I'm curious to know. That's the question for the evening. Do you believe that these crop circles in some way are anomalous? Whether that happens to be, from some of these other things like radiation, burn marks, not breaking the stalks of the actual crops themselves as they're pushed down, things like this, or do you think that's all just a bunch of hogwash? And then beyond that, if you don't, or you believe that there's something anomalous about this phenomenon, is it one of those things where you find yourself having a theory, right? And whether that's extraterrestrial, as they've said, flying saucers come down and shine a light and burn these things into crops because they're trying to communicate with us. Now, I'm not so sure I buy that one without some sort of credible eyewitness sightings and some video. Like if it happens, there should be some videos out there, right? I would think so. But let's see. What do we got? Let's see. There you go. Benjamin, what's up? Says, hey guys, Mike, you should check up on chat over on Facebook. Yeah, I can't. I can't because let's see. It doesn't seem to be scrolling. What's going on with chat on Facebook? This is what I'm saying. I started off with a nice tirade about Facebook and social media and how they're limiting reach on us. So anyway, let's see. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. So and I can't see it. I don't see the chat, dude. You are not in the chat. I can give screenshots to prove it. There's nothing in the chat from you, Benjamin. So anyway, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is the problem with what's going on. They're removing people from chat itself. I can't even see it as the admin of the page. I can't even see people in the chat room on the page we have. So I'm telling you, something's going on. Something's going on. So all right. Anyway, like I said, I'm really pissed off about that. So that's why it's kind of on the top of my mind tonight, and why we're moving. If you guys don't know, we're moving over to Rockfin. So if you want to continue watching this show, go on over to rockfin.com/troubledminds, and it's ROKFIN, and that's where we're going to start moving things because they keep playing games. Facebook and all these other guys are playing games with us. Okay, so I guess the theme of the show is twofold: censorship, and so we can talk about that if you like, or crop circles. Like I said, Paul in New Hampshire started us out with a fantastic call regarding this stuff. But what do you guys think? Is that you've seen all the the Carl Sagan one where they answered in binary code and all this other stuff? I mean, that's if that's hoaxing, that's incredible hoaxing, right? That's like super well thought out. You got to have a team of people. I mean, these things don't take weeks to create, or else they'd be spotted, right? Like these crop circles would have to show up overnight. This type of thing. I don't know. Like, some of that stuff makes me scratch my head. Maybe because I haven't seen anybody actually create one of these. Maybe if you went out with a group that did this and, kind of easily created one in a few hours with a group of people, then, there's that. But then, I don't know. Let's see. There you go. What's Lacey in Discord says, I like the magical idea or the work of fairies. And some of that is actually part of the theories here, whether it's, maybe earth spirits or something like this, maybe earth itself trying to maybe communicate, the Gaia hypothesis, right? That the earth itself is a self-sustaining entity. It's an organism, and it has not so sure conscious thought would be the term, but maybe it does have the capacity to communicate. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. So yeah. Just send me a message on Facebook, Benjamin, or join the Discord and just drop me a message there. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's see. When you move to Rockfin, will the show still be available on Discord? I do not know. So if you do, you're welcome to call Benjamin. Just we can't derail too hard if you got a long story. So that's the thing. If you can keep it short, you're welcome to call and tell us what's going down. All right. So here's the thing, right? I don't know. With all this, we're still in a transitionary phase. Like I said, go just check out Facebook and see what's going on. I don't even see chat there. Benjamin says he's chatting. I don't even see it. They've removed it somehow. Anyway, so the thing is crop circles tonight. I don't know. For me, I don't really have a theory. I do like some of the theories out there of again, kind of like Paul said to start this off, was that maybe we have a situation going on where it's, people have suggested in the chat tonight that maybe it's like satellites and, directed energy weapons sort of trying to fake UFOs, things like this. I can buy that stuff. I can buy the type of stuff that's what it is. But here we go. All right, let's go to richardcasaro.com. And this is pretty good stuff here. So I'm going to put this in here in the chat, and this is what we're talking about for the time being, and we're going to keep on trucking. More importantly, right, I can go through more and more information, but I would love to hear from you guys what you think about this. Are crop circles real? And if they are, what's your theory on what's going on with them? So here we go. Let's see. Crop circles can be found around the world. Here we go. Now, this is interesting. If you go back into some of this, you can see some of the history. This is, again, from richardcasaro.com, and he says this. The earliest known information on crop circles comes to us from a 1678 pamphlet entitled The Mowing Devil. This woodcut image shows the devil creating a circle in the field of oats. Further investigations took place in 1880 when an amateur scientist named John Capron, C-A-P-R-O-N, described unusual storms and strange crop circles that seemed indicative of cyclonic wind action. In 1996, a farmer in Queensland, Australia, witnessed a UFO rise from a swamp before flying away. Upon investigating, the farmer found woven reeds on top of the water. These woven reeds easily held 10 men. Since then, around 12,000 crop circles have been discovered around the world, and this was 1966. Early crop circles were simple circular patterns, and those occurring before the year 2000 seem to have been created using sacred geometry. Crop circles which occur after 2000 are more complex, often including mathematical designs called fractals. Some of these circles have been identified as hoaxes, of course, like we talked about, and creators have admitted such. Interestingly, after each new admission, the number of crop circles in the area skyrocketed. So we'll get to some of these other cases and talk about more from this website and others. But there are some weird things going on with this, and that's what I want to know. What I want to know is, do you guys believe in this crop circle stuff, or do you think it's a bunch of BS? And we're okay with all this. I'm not here trying to convince you that they're real. As you know, on Troubled Minds, we like to drink the maybe juice and consider that if these things are real, what could they be? So what are the theories, right? And we'll get to some of this other stuff as we go tonight. But as you know, I'd rather hear from you guys because I can talk to myself in the corner and look at the internet all by myself and come up to my own conclusions. But that's not what this is about. I'd like to hear what you guys think about this. Is the crop circle phenomenon real? Or do you think it's mostly hoaxed and it's just case closed? I mean, science would tell you it's case closed, right? It's just there's nothing to it. But again, right, if you get scientific evidence or data that suggests that some of these crop circles may or may not be all the same as the hoaxed crop circles, very much like I described, maybe radiation in the soil, maybe burn marks, like kind of laser type burn marks in some of the crops that were affected, things like this. I don't know. We'll get to some of that tonight, and we'll continue talking about this and keep on trucking. There's tons of information regarding this, and as always, right, it depends on who you ask. You can ask pretty much, 1,000 people the same question and probably get close to 1,000 different answers. And that's what this is all about. It's not really about getting the truth of anything. Like I said, I'm not going to try and convince you this stuff is real. I've already stated probably the vast majority of crop circles are hoaxes. But is there a slim chance that there are some out there that may not be hoaxes? And this is the copycat effect of one showing up that's legitimate and everybody trying to get on board and copy them for notoriety or clickbait or what have you. So that's the conversation tonight. That's what's on my mind. Love to hear from you. If you want to be part of the show, you know what to do. Give us a call at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We're talking about crop circles tonight. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. More after the break. Don't go anywhere. We are talking about the alien abduction phenomenon.
The aliens are looking through your eyes and they're accessing your optic nerve. I'm doing that. And through that optic nerve, they're transferring to your brain. People are random images as they traverse neurons in the brain.
Alright, so maybe,
and they also feel them planting.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
all right. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. This show is live. This is the show where we get together on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific, and we discuss all the things we're not allowed to talk about, which is becoming more and more obvious because they're blocking us at every turn. What are the things we can't talk about? You got it. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. We are currently, but maybe not for long, streaming on Facebook, DLive, YouTube, and Periscope, and we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM, and we're taking your phone calls. Tonight we are discussing crop circles. Now, as we all know, many of these things are fake. Simply phony, fake, hoax, no problem. But I think the conversation is a little deeper than that if you start to look at some of the anomalous things scientific analysis has decided about maybe certain crop circles not being a hoax. And, well, so that's what we're talking about tonight. Is there a thin layer of maybe something here? And that's where a troubled mind resides, in that thin layer of the maybe, and that's what we do. That's what we do on this show. So we are taking your phone calls, as I said. If you want to be part of the show, it's 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037, and we'll put you on the show. You can also join the show by joining Discord at troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link, and we'll put you on. And we do have Daryl waiting on the phone here, so let's go to Daryl in New York. How are you, my friend? What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, Michael, this is a great topic. I'm so happy you're talking about it.
Thank you.
In fact, I'm wondering if we're going to have to go to Crop Circle for our next format, because they're going to be, censoring all of our other platforms, and the Crop Circle might be our last truth. As we are researching this subject, I'm just saying, it's kind of like Messenger or text message. What I always had a theory that it was somehow some kind of communication, like, just send me a crop circle and I'll meet you after dinner. Send me a crop circle on Earth. And, I'll check back with you. What's for dinner? And
right.
That's the way they communicate when they lack, I don't have a pen, just write it in the crop circle for me, send me an email. This is what probably has been done way before we could ever see anything from the air. I'm sure that this has been a form of communication between higher intelligences. That's my idea, that's my theory. But apparently there's so much energy that goes involved to create one of these things. And they're somehow created sometimes in seconds, Like, do you remember a telex machine? I don't know if you were born yet, but there was a machine that was like a fax machine before faxes were even in. And it was so complicated. You had to type the whole thing out perfectly. And when it was ready to go, you would press send. But the whole thing was on a template, and I hated them. I worked like for 2 weeks in the office, and I couldn't stand telexes. That was my really a sore subject for me, because I would often make mistakes and you'd have to start all over again. But this is like, it was sent in a matter of seconds. So once you had it finished, it's like a telex. And that's how I look at a crop circle in a way. It's kind of like a universal telex. Maybe they have a template, and they just have to send a certain energy wave to create that, rapid message. Just saying.
Yeah, no, interesting stuff. So basically the thing is this, right? So as you're saying, we're communicating through text messages and these other things. Is it possible that maybe they're leaving markers or street signs to each other as part of this communication setup as they fly by, or maybe transition dimensions, or whatever's going on with this? Because again, like I said, we do a lot of drinking the maybe juice on this show. And is this possibly what's happening? Like as you said, and as we've described in this show already, like there are some theories about ley lines crossing, about maybe orbs kind of coming up from the ground that kind of create these things. Maybe this inside the earth is sending some sort of message up to us, to the people of the earth, things like this. If you have a theory, then do you think it is like extraterrestrial of sorts, or do you think it's something else, maybe something more terrestrial that we just don't understand?
Oh, I think it's definitely an intelligence that's very, very brilliant. And maybe they were censored on their other platforms. So this is their chance to, send their communications out that it's, that will be read, from very far away, because they can be seen from a distance, and we couldn't see them. They had those articles in the 1600s, but how did they really know, that those probably were stumbled upon and never faked at that point. We can fake it now because we have ways of seeing things from above the ground. But, some of these could be seen, from the moon or from Saturn or from Jupiter, who knows,
Yeah, I agree with you there.
The amount of energy that you hear, like the energy fields that are involved when you go visit them in person. Not that I've had the opportunity, but I've heard, what other people discussing this. That there's a lot of energy within those crop circles. There's a healing energy. There's something going on there. That the way it bends the stuff, it doesn't beat them. And there's radioactivity also involved, so, and is Mother Earth that intelligent, that maybe Mother Earth is actually pushing this out with sacred geometry, like spirograph. If you ever drop like a pebble in the water, it will make a design. This is just another more complicated design using energy. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that
is real.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So, and again, there's some other theories, right? Whether these are going to be, complex weather patterns, that are kind of manipulated by some technology we don't know about. Whether this is some sort of, again, like a plasma sort of something that's coming out of the earth and causing these things. But I think again, if we trim it down and throw all the hoaxes out, and there is something to this, that it's definitely not easily explained. I mean, some of these crop circles are so intricate, you would expect to see a team of people out there, right, for days maybe. And so it doesn't seem to be happening. I don't know. But again, like I said, I've never done it myself, so I'm not an expert. I don't know how easy or difficult it would be. It seems like if you're making like a huge fractal pattern the size of a football field, and it's as intricate as they seem to be, that there's something more to this. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah, definitely.
We definitely need a translator. We could use a translator. I think even David Wilcock once upon a time used to translate crop circles. If you look back like 10 years ago, well, he used to see the DNA. It was DNA strands, and they were talking about DNA and RNA and stuff like that. That was obvious, but I'm not here to promote him or anything. But I'm just saying he was actually translating them based on, just some common knowledge. And there's people I think that could probably really translate better than him, that should come out and talk about it. Or who knows, they have a message. I'm not sure who it's for, though,
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's the conversation tonight. I don't know. I'm not sure. You know me. I'm not trying to make anybody believe any of these things, but it does seem that it's anomalous enough to talk about it as part of a conversation. So maybe it is. Maybe it's simply a communication device that's kind of they seem to be seasonal in Wiltshire, in England, and some of these other places, but I don't know. Just a little confused about why, couldn't they do plasma in the sky, as we've talked about previously, right? I guess that'd be a little more conspicuous, wouldn't it?
The locations are definitely well planned out. I think based on they're just good templates to send a message on. It's the perfect blackboard or chalkboard for that Navy juice.
Right, exactly.
A big field. But anyway, it's a great subject, and that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, perfect. You're allowed. Remember, we have the right to be wrong. It's okay. It's okay. I appreciate it, Daryl. You were the best. Thank you so much for the phone call, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Thanks for listening. Have a great night.
Good night, man. Bye.
Thanks a lot. You too. There you go. That's Daryl from New York. Great stuff as always. And all right, so we're taking your phone calls tonight. We're talking about crop circles. What do you think about this stuff? Is it fake? As we've described, surely many are hoaxes, but are there any that are not? That's where the conversation lies. And if so, what are they? Do ancient astronaut theorists say yes? Well, we'll find out, won't we? Not really, but I mean, we know what they say. They always say yes. But okay, so anyway, we are taking your phone calls talking about crop circles. This is Troubled Minds on Michael Strange. If you want to be part of the show tonight, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037, and we'll put you on the show. You could join the Discord as well at troubledminds.org. So if you ever want the phone number, the podcast, or anything to do with Troubled Minds, that's the official website, troubledminds.org, and we'll see you there. Okay, let's go to looks like Jack in Wisconsin. Welcome to the show, my friend. Are you there? Testing 1 2.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Jack. How are you? Hey, man. Just doing weird stuff, talking about crop circles after dark. How are you? What's going on?
Awesome. I just wanted to bring up, like I said, a few times that I've been out in the country where I live in Wisconsin. Every field is marked by a certain they use a certain kind of spray, like a certain kind of pesticide, and every field is marked by whatever pesticide that they use. So I thought that was kind of a strange thing that people might want to look into, when they're looking over these crops and stuff, because it's kind of strange. When you go on over, it's like, okay, this one's marked like 100600, and then it's this company that's providing the pesticide. And it's like clearly marked, like right where the field is or whatever. And I'm telling you, you guys are talking about like crop circles. Man, there are a bunch of crop squares out here. If you guys want to find some crop squares, there are crop squares out here. I don't know about any crop circles, but if you guys want to find a bunch of crop squares, they're here in Wisconsin. They're just everywhere.
Interesting.
They're mainly squares.
Have you actually seen like maybe some aerial photographs? Are they super complex like these other ones we're talking about, or is it just simply just a square shape and that's that?
Oh, they're everywhere. I mean, I think it's mainly done with farm equipment. I don't believe in this kind of crap, but I think like some of them they may be because some of them, you have to be a light stepper or something, because I know they say like the branches, they're not cut. They're just kind of stomped on, but not even stomped on. They're kind of like lightly tread upon. So it's kind of like no one knows, what's going on or whatever. It could be kids too. I don't know, but.
Yeah, I think that's part of this is we have to consider all the possibilities, and we know the hoaxers, right? There have been people that have admitted doing crop circles in particular. and even fessing up to how they did them, to going out with reporters and showing the ropes and the board and that whole process. So I mean, like probably squares are much easier to hoax in that case, but who knows? Like if you let's say you wanted just like a kind of a quiet private place to go out and drink beer in the middle of the night, if you smashed down like the middle of a crop and just kind of sat there in the square or whatever it was, people aren't going to see you, right? It's like your own privacy shade. Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me that stuff's going on out there, right?
Yeah, it's probably nothing, Mike. I mean, I was just kind of like letting you know what's going on from my neck of the woods. There's no circles, but there's mainly squares.
Gotcha.
So just letting you know. Yeah,
I appreciate that. So do you have a greater theory here? Do you think most of it's just a bunch of BS, or do you think there may be something to it?
I've seen some that are so intricate that it's hard for me to say that they're completely done by man, which is kind of scary because then you're getting into the hoo-ha about, hey, if man didn't create this and this is so intricate, who created it? And that's kind of spooky. I mean, I'm not believing in like supercomputers created it or something, but it's like if it's aliens or something, it's like, oh gosh, maybe it's true. You never know. You never know. That's why I listen to the show every night. I love the show because we believe in this stuff, and I believe that they're out there. So I think some of these crop circles are more than man. So this is my opinion.
Right on. I appreciate it quite a lot. Thank you very much for the call, Jack. Anything else while we got you on?
Yeah. No. Have a great night, everybody. I love you guys.
Thanks a lot.
I'll see you tonight or
right on.
tomorrow.
Right on. You too, my friend. Thank you. Thank you very much for the call. Thanks a lot, my man. Jack in Wisconsin. Good stuff as always. And that's what I mean, right? So when I say this, I mean this is the truth. As we get together and we talk about these things, there is, right, the media can get between us and distort ideas and stories. But if we do this together directly, and like you pick up the phone and you just say, hey, look, this is what's going on near me, like crop squares, it's happening. I see them, right? Like that's the type of thing that if, it may not get pushed into the mainstream, it may be nothing at all, but we have it now. Jack said, hey, this is going on around where I live, and I wanted you guys to know that it's possible that some other things may be going on. Maybe not, but also maybe, right? Just kind of add it to the list of things as part of this conversation. So very, very good stuff from Jack. Thank you. Looks like we got Derek in Massachusetts, so I'm going to give him just a sec to catch up because I know he's behind listening on an archive on Discord. We'll go to Derek in just a moment, but if you want to be part of the show tonight, give us a call, 702-957-1037. Going to put the phone number up, and it's as simple as that. You guys can just give us a call and tell us what you think about this. Like I said, some people are like, roll their eyes, whatever, crop circles, you got to be kidding me. Other people are like, well, I don't know, there might be something more to this, and we could look at some of the science. Like I said, look at that the website BLT Research. I'll tell you the exact website here. It's bltresearch.com, just like the bacon, lettuce, tomato. So, right, of course, that's not what it stands for, but they've actually done scientific experiments on some of these crop circle sites, and as a result, got some things going on that may or may not be easily hoaxed, and that's the question here. So we got again Derek in Massachusetts on the. He's in the caller queue, but whenever you're ready, Derek. But we'll keep on trucking here. So there are some things, like I said, if you look at some of this stuff, there we go. All right, I think he's good. Derek in Massachusetts. Welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
What's going on, brother? Great stuff tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it. What do you think about this? Do you think there's something more to it than simply drunken teenagers hoaxing things?
Definitely. I'm not sure what. Obviously, like no answers, but first, like as far as the skeptical side of me, as like are there hoaxes or not? I think probably the part that makes me think this like maybe something human going on, like something like trendy because of the fact that they're always happening in England usually. That's like seems to be like the nucleus of them. So it does seem to be like a cultural thing. Maybe like it's just like a form of prank that they're doing over there. But like if you were to ignore that, maybe like there's some kind of like earth chakra point that's like the reason why it's happening in that one specific kind of region of the earth, maybe it's like that's some kind of like nature chakra, I'm not really sure, but like obviously there's the alien connection and stuff, but over the last few years, like the whole maybe it's the Earth itself doing it. Has seemed to be like kind of the new idea that's been injected into the conversation. So it's kind of the one I've been liking the most recently. So the idea being like, what if it's like nature itself, or what if it's the Earth trying to communicate with us, with humans? How would the plant kingdom try to make contact with the animal kingdom? How would we try to communicate with a higher intelligence? We would use sacred geometry and stuff, try to show them that like you're sentient by using sacred mathematics and stuff. Like how we send that like disc out into space with all like the sacred geometry designs and stuff, which actually ended up coming back and being one of these crop circles, like a response to that alien message, which is pretty good evidence that it might be something alien, But as far as like one intelligence trying to make contact with a different intelligence, like sacred geometry might be the way to do it. And it also could explain why like the real ones don't hurt the plants, like nature wouldn't hurt itself, I think that idea is pretty cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes some sense to me that if you would, like, very much in like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the Spielberg movie, they were trying to communicate and they were using tones, right? Just musical tones as part of just a way to communicate, because when you don't speak the same language, you have to come up with other ways to convey intelligence. And just like you said, if you're using tonal nature of sounds, meaning like the root and a perfect fifth, it's a very like harmonic relationship that's intelligent. It's not a random thing, and it makes sense that you would describe it as the same thing, except in like sacred geometry. Mathematics is the same, whether it's going to be geometry or whether it's going to be resonance. It's pretty much the same thing, just mathematics in a different form.
Exactly. And just the idea of like the contact between the different kingdoms, like the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom, is cool. Like there's theories that like there is constant interaction, like the way that the whole system kind of operates is that like the plant kingdom, I don't know, it's kind of like the way consciousness kind of like goes down, like the line from different levels of intelligence, and how they all kind of interact and like bridge to the next one, or like I forget who, Ben Stewart is a researcher who's talking about this. I think he might have been referencing Terence McKenna, but he was talking about like fruit as being like almost like offerings from the plant kingdom to the animal kingdom. Like there's like, other than to like move seeds around, it seems it's like, as it is like fruitarians, it's like the only cruelty-free thing you can actually eat. Could plants feel pain, but like they like bear fruit for us, to like for the animal kingdom, So it's like that type of interaction just kind of gets my brain tingling,
Exactly. But, agreed.
Go ahead. But like the alien theory and the ley line portal stuff is also really cool, And there is like one idea where I think there's supposed to be a lot of aquifers below these crop circles, a lot of like underground water beneath the crop circles that are happening in England mostly.
Yep. And get there. I knew you'd be into that.
Yeah. And me with the water thing. So
yep.
I think there's a huge connection between these like quote unquote mystical source waters. Like obviously not every body of water on the planet is like contacting entities and bringing stuff in, but I think it's these these mystical source waters, which are like different parts of the world. They're off limits. If you go try to find your like town source water, there's probably like a treatment center that you're aware of, but there's probably like some kind of off limits, like other than like different like touristy springs and that kind of stuff. A lot of the source waters you're not really allowed to go to. So there's those theories that there's something very mystical about it. And then like a lot of the ley line people, portal people, who are like sacred site people specifically, Stonehenge and everything, they have reservoirs or aquifers beneath Stonehenge, which is like a relatively recent discovery. So is that just another indication that there's like a weird amount of energy on the spot coming through the water, or is that a sign that there's entities that are coming in and doing it? My old boss.
Yeah. Hey, we got to take a break. You want to hang on?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Hang tight. I'm going to mute you. I'll come back and get you in a sec. Hey, guys, this is we're on the phone with Derek in Massachusetts. We're talking about ley lines. We're talking about these water structures. We're talking about, yeah, that's right, crop circles. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds after the break.
No. Good, brother. Really. Great stuff. Yeah, to the point about the plants trying to communicate with animals real quick before we go on to the portal stuff. What if try to visualize, like, how would your body try to communicate, like the human body, try to communicate with your mind? Or even like, how would like the skin flora, like the microorganisms on your body, try to communicate with you to let you know that, like, they're thinking and like you can hurt them? Like, I don't know when crop circles really started to become prevalent, but is there a connection with like when we really started to destroy the planet, when like giant corporations really started to like dump chemicals into like onto the earth? Maybe they're like, hey guys, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like, we're awake. We like know what's going on. You're hurting us. You know, knock it off. We understand math. You know, and like the comment somebody made about how the musical scales are just a form of mathematics, and like with the light and the sound and stuff. Like, that's interesting. You know. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I believe that they do. I think it's maybe even like a form of consciousness that's much more ancient than ours, you know? And that we're like, the thing I was talking about before about like the plants, like the plant kingdom giving fruit to the animal kingdom, kind of. It's like the way it was described in this like lecture or whatever. It was that the consciousness like taking different forms, if like the point of consciousness itself is just experience these different levels of consciousness within itself. It would start as like a fungus, or like some kind of, even like a rock, like a crystal. It would go to something that's stationary and can't move, or that's like it takes a very, very, very long time, or is constantly coming into form, where like plants very quickly come into form, they bloom, and they like are fully formed, and then they die very quickly, and they spread around via seeds. So that's consciousness like in different regions and like coming into itself. And then the next step would be the animal kingdom, where it's consciousness coming into form, growing, but they can move around. Like, they're not tied to the ground. They get their consciousness on the move, mobile. So it's kind of a tangent, but it's a cool idea. But to like the portal idea and like the aquifer, like the ley line thing, my old boss, we like I started getting him into like conspiracies and weird fringy topics a few years ago, and like he was starting at like zero, so it was kind of cool for me to like refresh myself on topics that I was kind of like bored with, you know, and kind of like reassess them under my new paradigms and stuff. And he was getting like super into it, and like we honestly kind of believed that the land next to him, it was just like reservation land, this like kind of creepy esoteric place. Like on this marshland where he was experiencing like UFO. He had like multiple interviews with MUFON, because he had like all these UFO experiences. He was having like ghost stuff. His daughter was seeing stuff. He had weird like orbs, like wildest orb footage I've ever seen in my life. And I'll try to like post it somewhere in the chat or something like that, maybe later. But this one time he there's this one specific spot that he was picking up on his like home security camera or whatever that was getting a lot of orb action, and like the orbs, I guess, were passing like through the ground. They were going into the ground, And then the next day he goes out in his lawn and he sees this like circular burn mark in the lawn, as if like as the energy was passing through the ground, it was leaving like some kind of remnant on the ground. And then it made me think about Thor, which I posted in the Discord or in the YouTube or the Discord chat, that in Thor, when he travels from space, in that case, to Earth, but in reality, it's just another realm. It's via the Rainbow Bridge, which is a portal, and it leaves this burn mark, which looks exactly like a crop circle, you know? So is it, when we see crop circles, is it just like something from that we can't even experience? We don't even know like the real action is outside of our realm of perception, and all we're seeing is kind of just like what's left, like a marker that something happened. We really like don't even have like we can't even see, or we can't even, you know, it's beyond our five senses to try to I'm rambling, save me here.
No, you're good. I got you.
Sorry.
So notably about that is that's not the only time I've heard this. If you dig into crop circles and the way the supposed formation happens, you get eyewitnesses that there are, again, there are particular areas in England where it's probably the most prevalent crop circle territory in the world, and people go there as sort of like a tourism thing. And they go because they're trying to find exactly what you just described. They want to see the, you know, paranormal, for lack of a better word, formation of these crops when it happens. And supposedly there have been eyewitnesses exactly like you described in these huge, areas of crops happening where they see these huge orbs. Exactly, not just come out of the ground, maybe come out of the sky, kind of just like snap your fingers and they weren't there, now they are there, and now they kind of go down into the ground, into the crop itself, and then either they disappear or they move further into the earth and they're gone. And like there's witnesses to these things, and this is part of the hunt. It's kind of like UFO hunting, right? You go out during, to California or southern Nevada in the summertime, and you're looking at the sky because you're trying to find UFOs. It's the same thing in Wiltshire, England, where it's become a tourism thing because they're trying to find that exact situation where you get these orbs coming and going and possibly creating these things as spontaneously, like snap your fingers. Exactly. It wasn't there and now it's there, and there have been witnesses that have described exactly that. So yeah, I don't know, I wonder if there's something in particular in Wiltshire in England here where there's maybe, like you said, maybe some waterways underneath, maybe there's ley line, grid crossing, electromagnetic stuff. I have no idea, but it kind of makes you wonder, right? If it is like Jack said, maybe a cultural thing, or if there's something else to it, maybe something the Earth is trying to tell us about England or something in particular, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a million ley lines that are crossing over in England, but there's a million ley lines that are crossing all over the planet. So I'm not sure if there's any other hotspots for crop circles. If there were, like, that'd be interesting to know.
I think Australia is the other one that I'm aware of. I think so.
Oh, wow, that's weird. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of Australian knowledge, but I know England has a ton of waterways. They're basically like one giant like rocky marshland over there, which and that is like the marsh is like representative of the land meeting the water, which is just two realms merging together on our plane. So like metaphysically, it's supposed to be the same thing, like different realms kind of bridging together, you know. Or also like if this like ley line grid that we talk about sometimes is just another way of explaining like earth chakras and like earth acupuncture points the same way that humans do. Like when people get those needles all over their body for acupuncture, what they're doing is kind of like opening up these like energy portals for energy to move freely, like more freely, you know. So perhaps that's what's happening, you know. Or like that one that's it's in England, like the same way with the Earth, like your different chakras had different like roles for the body. Perhaps the one in England is has like a communication type role. Maybe the UK is like the throat chakra of the Earth, and that's the one. So it's like communicating via England. You know what I mean? Interesting. Trying to speak. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but in like the orb thing, it makes it seem like it's an entity that's doing it, like the orb itself is the entity, but perhaps like it's just a tendril of the Earth itself. Like like fairies or sprites or like earth spirits are not like a separate thing. They're not like dark elves and Thor or whatever, like an alien race. They're like just how we perceive the earth doing things. We see it as like a separate appendage like onto itself, the fairies or whatever. But in reality, it's just the earth. That's how the earth works on itself. You know, like our body heals itself through these microorganisms all in our gut and all that kind of stuff. But from inside the body's perspective, you would think they're its own entity, but they're like a function of the greater body. So perhaps that's what's happening, you know. But I'll let other people chime in. I'm going on for a long time, but really awesome show tonight, Mike.
You're good. I appreciate it. Always great stuff, Derek from Massachusetts, the Night Stalker, guys, the famous Night Stalker. Thanks for chipping in, Derek.
Thank you, dude.
You're the best, my friend. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, you too. Have a great night. All right, so we're talking about, again, so good stuff from Derek, as always. We're sorry about that. I had myself muted. At least you guys could hear him. Yeah, that was the important part. I was kind of just rambling in between his fantastic points. But I had myself muted for the first part there when he was talking. So that's all right. You guys get to hear me talk quite a lot. But good stuff from Night Stalker, as always. And so we're talking about crop circles tonight. Do you think, again, so the point where the rubber meets the road in the conversation is this. Clearly, there's a lot of hoaxes, and right there in Wiltshire, England, and that's basically the major part of the world where these things happen. Now, they do happen in other parts of the world, but most of them, like 80% or more, happen in this part of England. Now, the odd part is, like Derek there was saying, is there something to do with England itself, or is this one of those self-perpetuating hoax fairy tale things where you create this sort of cottage industry for yourself, and you can make more money making a crop circle and selling T-shirts than you could, selling your crop, right? So who knows? Like I said, I'm open to all the ideas, and that's part of the conversation here. But yeah, very, very good stuff. Fairy forts is the thing I forgot. I knew I was missing something. Yeah. Good stuff, Derek. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to, we got another phone call. We're still taking your phone calls tonight if you guys want to be part of the show. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Let's go to whoever this is. Welcome to Troubled Minds. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Michael. It's Vicky.
Vicky, what's happening? How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you. I know it's been quite mind-boggling today, having to go between all the different places looking and for everybody to talk. Anyhow, along the lines of these crop circles, I'm kind of wondering if it isn't like some people that are the travelers, the time travelers, trying to leave us messages.
Interesting. I like that one.
Not for all of them.
Yeah, well,
because,
of course.
There are people out there who's just messing around, but there are some that we don't know what it is.
Exactly. I like the idea, and that's the thing, right? We're, as you know, we drink the maybe juice here and kind of just thrown out theories of what these things could be. And, we've heard, as many people have described in the past, these crop circles are little green men, right? They're aliens. They're trying to leave us a message. But what if it is a message, but it's not from little green men? So that's a fantastic point there. What if it's maybe what happens when you maybe open up the time portal, right? Maybe when, who knows? And I think that's part of the conversation here, just kind of throw out the ideas and see what makes sense or does not make sense. But yeah, and so what Vicky's talking about here regarding the chat, Facebook chat is broken, literally broken. I see 3 people in the chat, and that's all I've been reading. Robert, Brett, and Mike. That's all I get. Everybody else that was in Facebook chat, if I'm not answering you or even acknowledging you, it's because I can't see you. They're removing chat now. So like I said, it's becoming just so broken, it's unusable, and it's unfortunate. So what's up? I see Tam Bam in the chat there on YouTube because Facebook's broken. But yeah, so what else do you think? So do you think these are real there, Vicky? Do you think there's something to this, or do you think for the most part it's just hoaxes?
I think a lot of them are hoax, but I don't think all of them are hoax. I believe that some of them are such intricate details that it's not like somebody could just go out and do it themselves.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, some of them are pretty intricate, and if you're trying to tell me a bunch of drunk teenagers pulled this off overnight, it seems less likely. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. As you know, we don't have answers here. I wish we did, but we really have no idea. So what do you think about the theory of the Earth maybe trying to communicate with the inhabitants? Like Derek was saying there, that, the plants are noticing, hey, you're poisoning us, and there's maybe some sort of communication coming from the Earth itself trying to say, hey, stop this, right? How do you feel about a theory, something like that?
Well, I think that it takes more than just the plants to tell us. I'm kind of wondering if there isn't some little green men under the earth.
Ah,
because
yes.
They are, some of them living in tunnels under there. At least it's what I've heard,
Yeah, they're called ultra-terrestrials, as a matter of fact, yes. They've been here all along. They live underground. Yeah, good stuff, fantastic thoughts. So we got to wrap this up. Final thought while we got you on the phone?
Nope, great show.
Thank you.
And we need to know how to find you at this other place you're wanting to go.
Okay, Rockfin, I'm gonna paste the link. Let's get over there. Let's get everybody over there. Robert had a good idea to just cut these shows off at the 2-hour mark and go to the 3rd hour and get everybody over there soon. And I may do that. That's an idea. Maybe when we finish up here, maybe we'll just kill this stream entirely and just head over to Rockfin and just get everybody signed up over there. It's free. You guys don't have to worry about it. It will be free. You can contribute and subscribe over there to get premium content, but it's free. It's a free sign up, and let's just move people because they're messing with us. It's not fair at this point. And we're doing things in good faith, and the technocrats should be as well. So stay tuned for that. We'll give you more instructions on that. Vicky, you are the best. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for always being enthusiastic about the show, and thank you for calling in tonight.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Have a great day.
Thanks a lot. You too. Appreciate that. That's Vicky. And so she's, again, a casualty of Facebook. Can't even chat, trying to jump around and find an actual chat where she can communicate with the people that are just here watching the show with her. And it's broken. It's so broken. It's embarrassing. And this is they need to fix it. They need to fix this stuff. But if they're not going to fix it, I don't think it's intentional, or I do think it's intentional. This is not an accident. So, okay. Anyway, so let me get to this real quick as we finish this up tonight. So sorry to run you off the phone there, Vicky. I want to make sure we get this into the show before we finish up. This is from KentBerling.com. I'm going to link this in the chat. And there's this thing called a plasma vortex theory regarding crop circles, okay? So I'm going to drop this in the chat, and you guys can see it where I'm referencing this from. And it goes a little something like this. The plasma vortex theory is one that has been created based on the physical phenomena found at crop circle sites. The theory began as Dr. Levengood, who studied biophysics at the University of Michigan, studied the effect of crops at crop circle sites. His findings showed that the vast majority of sites had significant enlargements of the cell walls, changes to the soil composition, changes in seed germination, and evidence of a brief flash of intense heat. Levengood believes that the cause is spinning vortexes of microwave frequencies. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. If this is what's happening and it's a natural phenomenon, how exactly do we quantify it without going out there and taking samples of this and not writing off crop circles as just fake? Some drunk kids at night with some boards and some ropes, right? So just to continue with this, the origin and actions of these vortices, not vortexes, vortices, involve complex physics, which is best summed up on aliens.monsters.com. Their summary is as follows. This will be real fast, and we'll finish this up. Atmospheric associated plasma formations may plausibly originate in regions where there are clear indications of energy exchange between the ionosphere and electrical storms in the upper atmosphere. Currently under consideration are ion plasma vortices, which form in unstable regions and act as heat and angular momentum transporters. In fluid dynamics, gases, including air, are considered as having liquid properties. In such a scheme, the descent of a vortex through a liquid produces unstable secondary products which form complex symmetrical patterns such as circles, rings, triangles, double lines, and ovals with tubes or paths extending from them. And this research goes back as far as 1958, where they were looking into this stuff. And I think that's the weirdness, right? That's what's going on here, is that there's, it could be everybody goes into the little green men, right? It's either a hoax or it's little green men. And I don't know. I just don't think the world is so binary as that. I think sometimes that the answers may be a little more complex than just aliens or not aliens, right? I mean, I hate to break Giorgio Tsoukalos' heart with the big hair. Ancient astronaut theorists say, maybe. Maybe. We're going to say maybe. I don't know. Like, as you guys know, I don't know the answers to this stuff, but that's what's going on. That's what's on my mind tonight. We're talking about crop circles. And as you realize, we're being messed with by the technocrats big time. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's unintentional. I think this is, they've selected targets and they're allowing, they're running us off of platforms. And, we see a lot of the folks tonight over on YouTube because they couldn't even contribute or chat on Facebook. So we're doing our thing. We're moving. So we're on Fringe. We're going to stay on Fringe FM, of course, which is radio. But if you like the actual video shows and the bonus content and all the rest of that, all of that's going to Rockfin. ROKFIN.com. Next time I'll get it up on the stream. Actually, let me type it in here so everybody can see what I'm talking about. Rockfin.com. There it is. There it goes. Let's see. Spell it right. /troubled minds. Easy as that. Now, I'm going to put this up because we're going to kill this stream. We're going to do this as a test. I'm going to kill this stream as soon as we're done. And we're going to take our break and reboot the stream and do the third hour of the show exclusively on Rockfin. We will be off Fringe because our time slot is up right now. And so if you're listening to us on Fringe FM, stay tuned for Joe Roop Lighting the Void. There's no reason to stop listening to the radio. Fantastic programming comes after us. I don't know if Joe is back tonight, so maybe there's a teaser if you guys are into surprises. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. But in the worst case, you'll get a replay of Joe Roop Lighting the Void, and then, of course, Ryan Gable, The Secret Teachings after that. If you're listening to us on any other platform and you're going to continue doing that, we'll do a third hour on Rockfin. So come on over to right there and put it up on the stream, rockfin.com/troubled minds, and let's do it. You can create a free account. You can even create it with your Google account if you want to make a different email or different account. All that stuff, you can do all that. But just join us over there. So as we finish this up, we're doing a third hour. Troubled Minds is going to go for a third hour. We'll still be taking your calls. Everything will be still in effect. We'll have the same everything except we're going to change and we're going to go stream on Rockfin because, well, they're not giving us much choice, are they? They're just like people not getting notifications and all the rest of this. So anyway, as we finish up, ramble, Mike, ramble. Let's play some outro music. And one more time, this is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Thank you for being part of this. Thanks for engaging your mind and considering things you may not even believe. That's what a good conversation is about, is spending disbelief to talk about amazing things. And that's what this show's about. So thank you so much for all the calls tonight, all the great chat. I apologize on behalf of the technocrats that can't get their stuff figured out. But what can you do? I know what we can do. We'll see you over on Rockfin in about just a couple minutes. Rockfin.com/troubled minds. Everybody else, thank you so much. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thanks for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. Let's go. I'm killing it right now. We're going over to Rockfin. Rockfin.com/troubled minds. We'll see you there. It'll take probably 5 minutes to get this stream killed and get the other one back up. We're going to do it. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of them messing with us. It's time to draw a line in the sand. This is bullshit, and I'm done with it. See you at Rockfin.